All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever noticed how you can just, lose hours scrolling on your phone? But the very idea of studying for like 15 minutes feels like an impossible task. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not lazy. Your brain isn't broken. You're just caught in a trap. And today, we are going to talk about how to get out of it.
I mean, does this look a little too familiar? 3 hours, just gone, scrolling through social media. It feels like nothing, right? Totally effortless. But then you sit down with a textbook, and suddenly 15 minutes feels like a lifetime. It's this crazy universal struggle. But the reason why is actually super simple.
So what is actually going on here? Why does our brain put up such a fight when we try to do something that's, good for us? Well, it all boils down to one single, incredibly powerful chemical that's running the whole show.
And that word is dopamine. Think of it like this. It's the reward system in your brain. When you do something you enjoy, your brain gives you a little hit of it, and man, it feels good. But here's the thing you have to understand. Your brain is basically a heat-seeking missile for whatever gives it the biggest, easiest dopamine hit. It's an old survival tool that has been completely hijacked by our modern world.
So first up, let's really dig into this in section 1, the dopamine trap. We need to understand how we got here in the first place.
This chart pretty much says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got social media. It's like an all-you-can-eat dopamine buffet. Every single scroll, every like, every video is a brand new, easy reward. But then, on the other side, you have studying. The reward for that is way off in the future, it takes a ton of effort, and when you compare it to the instant party on your phone, it barely even moves the needle on the fun meter.
And that right there is the heart of the problem. Your brain's idea of what's interesting has been cranked up to a ridiculously high level. It's not that studying is actually boring. It's just that your brain has gotten used to a much, much stronger drug, and it makes everything else feel kind of dull.
But look, here's the good news. This is not a life sentence. You can totally fight back. So let's move on to section 2 and talk about resetting your brain. So the solution starts with something that sounds almost too simple, a dopamine detox. And no, we're not talking about going to a silent retreat for a month. We're talking about just 15 minutes a day. That's it. Find a quiet spot, put your phone away, turn off the music, get rid of everything, and just sit there. Let yourself be truly, deeply bored.
Now, I gotta be honest, the first time you try this, it's gonna feel like torture. Your brain, which is used to its constant supply of easy hits, is gonna scream at you for a distraction. It's gonna feel super uncomfortable, but that feeling, that's the sign that it's actually working. You are literally rewiring your brain in real time.
So why are we doing this? What's the point of all this, intentional boredom? Well, by starving your brain of all that high-octane stimulation, you actually lower its expectations for what counts as fun. And all of a sudden, the quiet satisfaction of reading a book or figuring out a problem, it starts to feel good again. You're making your brain sensitive again to the simple joys.
Okay, so getting your brain back to normal is half the battle. Now for section 3, let's talk about how to start making study rewarding on purpose.
The very first thing we have to do is change our mindset. You have to stop looking at your textbooks like they're some kind of torture device. Instead, start seeing them as treasure maps. Seriously, every chapter, every single page holds clues that can unlock a new way of seeing the world. Your brain loves to figure things out. You just have to frame it that way.
So how do we actually do this? We start with this number, 25. This is the magic behind what's called the Pomodoro technique. All you do is set a timer for 25 minutes and promise yourself you'll have pure, focused work for just that amount of time. See, your brain can handle that. It's not, I have to study all night. It's just, I can do anything for 25 minutes.
And you can make those little 25-minute sprints even better by turning them into a game. Break down your task into the tiniest pieces you can think of, like read one paragraph, solve one single math problem, and after you finish each tiny part, give yourself a real physical checkmark on a piece of paper. That tiny little act of completion, it gives your brain a small, satisfying hit of dopamine. You're literally training it to enjoy the process.
Here's another amazing hack. After you learn something, stand up and explain it out loud. Like, actually talk to an empty room as if you were teaching it to someone else. When you do that, you force your brain to really understand it. And that feeling of, oh, I actually get this now, that little moment of mastery is a huge dopamine trigger.
And look, to make any of this stuff really stick, you have to connect it to your actual life. If you're studying biology, think about how it applies to your workout at the gym. If you're studying economics, connect it to why your favorite video game costs what it does. When you build these little bridges from the textbook to your world, the information suddenly becomes way more interesting to your brain.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but knowing this stuff is totally useless if you don't do anything with it. So let's get real in our final section, your first steps. Your mission, starting right now, is so simple. Don't try to change your whole life at once. Just start small. Today, all I want you to do is one 15-minute session of total boredom. No phone, no distractions, just sit. That's it. And then tomorrow, just try one single 25-minute study session using these new tricks. Because here's the most important thing to remember from all of this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Your mind isn't broken. It has just been hijacked by a world that is designed, from the ground up, to steal your attention. But now, you have the tools.